My whole life revolves around the sea. It's work, it's pleasure through surfing and photography, and it's the community I love. I'm getting out of the surf photography and moving into just capturing people's stories. This project's about documenting people's life that revolves around the sea from all walks of life, such as surfers, fishermen, artists, marine biologists. And the aim is to bring more social and environmental change in areas such as conservation. More so for inspiration for me, because the images, they might make change in the end, and that's something I really want to do instead of just shooting advertising. So I've got the GFX100 and now I've got the 100S, and it's just for my type of work, especially working around people and documenting people's stories. It's good to be able to take in the 100S for size-wise, because you just want those people to keep doing what they're doing and not freaking out about size. So the smaller camera, and I've had a few injuries lately, so it's nice just carrying around a small body camera. Well, large format in something so small is quite incredible. The GFX system is important to my work, really just to be able to get real life size images on the wall, because that's something that's missing, especially with the work around the water. You just can't print to scale, but with the GFX you can just go massive. Ocean-grown abalone is important because they basically have a farm out in the sea for abalone, which they've developed all on their own. It's not like they're taking everything from the sea. They're putting back and then taking and then putting back again. And they've put 10,000 concrete bollards for abalone to grow off, and they grow their abalone from a small size, and then obviously they harvest them later on when they're dinner plate sizes, and they can just keep doing that for years. That's important to the sea because it's an environmentally friendly operation. Abalone is one of those resources that can certainly be wiped out with overfishing. The weather sealing is super important on the GFX, especially with my work. I'm always around the ocean. Ocean spray, you're on boats, you're on jet skis, and I like to shoot out of a housing sometimes, and it just gives you that extra bit of confidence knowing that your camera can take a little bit of a splash, which I've done once or twice. The IBIS on the GFX is amazing, and I'm going out on the ocean. You can't take a tripod out in a boat or a jet ski to do this slow shutter, so it's allowed me to be able to, before the sun comes up, go and shoot super early and speed blurs, and it's still pin sharp. It's kind of amazing how stable the camera is. The GFX autofocus is amazing. Being on a jet ski out in the surf, shooting high-speed sports such as surfing is incredible. File size is important for maybe 30% of my work, especially that clients are printing big, and especially when I'm trying to print big as well. You know, a lot of my work revolves around, you know, social network and websites, but when you want to print big, the GFX is next level. I chose Shannon for Life Around the Sea portraits because he's just got a really interesting story, especially coming from his background and his experiences with great white sharks. He's got some really crazy stories. And Shannon has recently developed a brand called Shark Eyes, which is a non-destructive shark deterrent, which is basically a pair of eyes watching the predator. And it's just really good to hear him speak about sharks and, you know, especially about keeping your eyes on it, on the predator, and obviously that helps. Yeah, I've been taken from the sea for years, you know, through enjoyment, surfing, and in particular, you know, my work revolves around the ocean, being a photographer, surf photographer, so being able to give back, shooting people's stories and then letting other people know how to give back to the sea is it feels good. Yeah, the new type of work is just, it's more of a personal work for me, my personal growth, being, you know, learning, being inspired by people's stories and what they do, and being able to give back as well through my photography.